Okay, I have just a minute's peace. My son and grandson are here, and they've been here for a day and a half. And we're packing up, trying to get everything ready. We've got it's a mini sluice with the new magic mat. I forget what it's called right offhand, but it's got legs. It can be set up like a mini high banker, and we're hoping we have time. We're going to try to go to bed just before dark tonight and get up and leave around 3 o'clock in the morning so that we can get to our destination in Georgia tomorrow pretty early to set up camp. We thought about leaving after church and after lunch today after church, but that would put us down there after dark, and it's like, let's not try to set up camp after dark. We're not familiar with the area at all, so we're going to leave in the wee hours of the morning and try to get down there in the AM and set up camp. But we're hoping, I've got that pay dirt that I started finding some gold flakes and stuff in, and then all of a sudden I just didn't get anything. I can't imagine that all of a sudden my panning skills just left me. I'm not saying I'm a pro, but I used to test a lot. I would put BBs in, and I always found the BBs. I did okay. But I've got all of the concentrations in a bucket, and we thought, why don't we just if we have time, we're going to try to set that up and run it through and see if we get any gold. If we do that, I'm going to show you, but we may not have time. We may just simply run out of time because we've got to get finished packing and get some decent sleep, hopefully. It's hard to sleep when you're all excited, but we'll try. And then leave in the wee hours of the morning. But anyway, it's about time to go. So I thought I'd just kind of do the intro, and we're about ready to go tonight. Well, we didn't get a chance to try out the sluice. My son somehow had a headache, and he spent the majority of the day in bed trying to get over that. And it's about 3:25 a.m. We're all packed up and about ready to pull out the drive. And wish us luck. We got way too much stuff, but I guess maybe that's better than way not enough. There's my grandson back there waving. So we are off. Here we go. We're at our first stop in Franklin, Kentucky, gassing up and grabbing us a sandwich and another cup of coffee, which is cool. The gas in Louisville was at like 3.25, 3.15, something like that. And down here, it's much less. I'll show you. If you can see it, just $2.67 here. That's nice to see that price rather than the $3.15 or $3.20 in Louisville. Anyway, we're back on the road. We're now less than an hour away from our destination. We're actually in Alabama. I guess we'll get back into Georgia in just a minute. We just pulled up to the campsite and we signed into the box, and we're just looking around. We packed so much stuff. It's packed full in there. Plus this stuff, I'm sure it was overkill, but anyway, the creek is over there. Porta potty's over here. We're just gonna pick us out a campsite here somewhere and get set up and then go to a creek. It's now the next morning, about 7:30 a.m. And I slept in the GMC because my grandson tosses and turns all night long. And it was cold all night. I didn't get much sleep. I'm gonna do it differently tonight. But we worked several hours in the creek, and we got 3 flakes, not even flakes, flour specks that you can barely see of gold. So we're going to try a different strategy for that today too. Hopefully. It was just crazy yesterday getting set up and all that. And today we'll try to get a little bit more video. We got a guy here stirring our chili. I opened up this cooker here I bought off of a person off of Marketplace, and it was brand new. It had never been used. That was cool. I thought it was probably used when. So we'll be eating this some chili, and it's cold this morning, so we haven't gotten started digging or anything yet. We're going to eat a little bit of chili, and then we're going to go find us a hole to dig. Two shrimps a minute, and then I'll talk.
All right, go ahead.
So we didn't have much success yesterday, and just for fun, there's a little dry runoff creek that runs beside the camping area, and so we went over there and got us a couple of 3/4 buckets of dirt from behind the tree and big rock from in there, and wet it down pretty good. It's mostly mud, but it feels a little bit clayish, and it's also sandy, but there weren't any rocks. I was kind of disappointed we didn't get any rocks, but we're going to do 2 buckets and pan it out, see if we find a few flakes. We did fill our hole. Okay, that 2 buckets that we went through from up there, we got 1 speck, so that didn't pan out. So the guy that was here talking to us, he was a GPA member and an old retired fella, nice guy. Hey David, he was digging right over here behind us, and he said when he was done, we're welcome to dig in his hole. He found a little bit, I mean several specks of flour gold. And so we started going deeper in that hole, and we're finding a lot of clay. Clay is a good thing to find, so we're going to just do 1 bucket because it was so heavy, it had so much clay in it, and we're going to clean it out and see what we've done. And we got 1 more full bucket that we'll do after that. This will be our last bucket tonight. We're losing day quickly. We tried setting up that sluice right there. We just couldn't get the flow quite right. So this one just seems to be working really well. So we ran half of that material, 1 of the 5-gallon buckets, through the sluice box and went ahead. It was so heavy because of the clay. We went ahead and ran it through the sluice box and washed it out and panned it. But we only got just a few specks of flour gold. It's really disappointing. Not even as much as the guy that was before us last night. We thought we'd get more than him. So I don't know if it's our technique or, you know, we've reading a lot of reports of a lot of people that have come here over the years, and almost all of them say they find gold. But the fellow that we talked to yesterday, he found 8 specks of flour gold, and he was tickled pink. And so if that's what all the other people are finding, then there's a few people that said this place has been panned out long ago, which I don't know. I guess it's possible. We're having a good time. We're always hoping to get more gold, and we're still going to work at it a little bit. But we're just going to take it easy and have a good time and get back out there in the creek and pan a little bit more today or tomorrow. After all that, we discussed it. We weren't finding anything, and we decided to call it quits. And the road back home, we passed the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and my son had never been there, so that was going to be our destination, and we started heading back from there. We got to Huntsville, Alabama, and got all cleaned up in our room, and we're going out to the restaurant to get a bite to eat. And I had to hit my brake a little hard, and I've got this little cooler right behind my grandson, and it fell over and just dumped ice water all over him. He pretty freaked out. I mean, that was a shock, I'm sure. So we ran back to the hotel, and they're up there getting changed, and we're going to head back out in the morning. I'm hoping to go to a few more banks and maybe get lucky again like I did a little while ago. And then we're going to the Corvette Museum. That'll be really cool. Smile.
Your hands are warm now, babe. One.
Well, we was having a really good time, but then we had the wreck, and that spoiled everything. We're back home, and just talking about the future. And I think what we're going to try to do is find some good locations. I live right across the river from Indiana. My son lives in Indiana, and there's gold in Indiana. So I think next year we're going to try to hunt out and look for some properties that we can get some permission, and do a lot of our gold panning and sluicing in Indiana. That's it. See you later.